Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and a game between MC versus Puma here on Shakura's Plateau, Game 3 in the series. We are tied at one game apiece. So far the series has been very interesting, very exciting to watch, and I hope the rest does not disappoint. We see MC spawning as the red Protoss player over here on the top right hand side of the map, meanwhile Puma on the bottom left hand side of the map as the blue Terran. Now, so far from what I've seen, I've said this previously in the previous games, Puma, as long as he can execute his builds well and hit his timings, then he is very, very strong. But MC in game 1 did disrupt his timing with a very effective 3-gate Sentry Zealot push. But in game 2, Puma, utilizing that high ground location, was able to get up a siege tank, push back that initial wave, and then come back with a much stronger army like I expected him to. We'll see if MC will be able to disrupt Puma, or if Puma will try to go for his, I guess, signature all-ins after he loses his first initial push. MC opening up with a standard gateway now. Probe now making its way across the map. It will scout out his opponent in just a little bit of time. We'll see how all of that will play out, as so far we still don't have a gas coming in from either of these players. So far Puma has been going for pretty much gasless builds, and with these gasless builds, which looks like he will be going for once more since he is building a supply depot on the front door, with these gasless builds, he really focuses on Marines in the earliest portion of the game. Now, I do believe that, and it's no surprise that he is trying to go for a gasless build on this map, as the ramp here is rather narrow, and you can also place bunkers here to really deal a lot of early damage. Now what we're going to see is the Cybernetics Core come in from MC. MC pretty much opening with a very traditional build, as MC now tries to sneak inside with this probe, but he's not going to be able to, since the front door was already completed, and now all he can really do is just try to run away and assume that his opponent is going for a fast expansion. Meanwhile, SCV now going to perhaps do a little bit of scouting. It looks like Puma was scouting in the correct direction and then quickly decided to go in the wrong way. SCV is going to come up that ramp, take a look, see that he is not there, and now have to head back off to the north, as we see a 19 to 15 worker advantage. Orbital Command is calling in mules though, and we already have the second command center coming in from Puma. SCV gonna try to sneak up the ramp. There is already a Zealot there. The Zealot gives it a little lub tap in the back, and now that SCV trying to wander around on the inside. Warp Gate Warp Gate tech plus a Stalker now being added. The SCV gonna get one quick look before it gets destroyed. Yeah, the Stalker going to get some easy shots off and pops, and there we go. Now 2 Marines inside a bunker, going to be able to fend off this initial probe and perhaps the Stalker and the Zealot. This combination not going to work out all too well at all, as the Marines inside here are going to be enough to fend this off. We are going into 2 more barracks, and then I believe we should be going into double refinery. Here momentarily, we should perhaps also see a second bunker being added, but the timing on this is really going to be dictated by MC. MC knowing that he can't fall behind economically speaking, he doesn't want to try to 4-gate all in this at all, so he opts to set up a nexus of his own and also get an additional simulator. So MC currently running off of 1 production building only, but as soon as that warp gate is up, that does definitely help, as it does shave off a good 5 seconds on every single build time here. Now, gateway currently being warped in alongside. It is going to be 2 additional gateways. The Stalker's going to perhaps try to test the waters. There is 1 bunker still on that front door. The SCV is going to move out, see the Stalkers, and now attempt to run back up. The Stalker may actually end up falling. No, MC, a little bit of a mistake there. Only taking a little bit of damage though. 3 points of damage to the shields on those Stalkers, as the Orbital Command now gets some SCVs, and we should see a bit of an economic boost coming in from Puma. Puma does have double refineries right now, but the key question will be whether or not MC is going to try to bust open this front door earlier. There are a lot of Marines. The Marines gonna perhaps go up against the Stalkers. The Marines are simply walking in and now gonna finish off one Stalker. One Stalker does go down. Second Stalker takes a little bit more damage, and a nice trade there, trading in a little bit of damage and one Marine for a Stalker. That's always a really strong push, as the Marines now push their way across the map. All the Stalkers and Zealots now forced to retreat, as double sentries now holding the high ground, preventing anything else from happening. Probe now warping in over here. This is going to be bad news. Does Puma spot this? Yes, Puma does spot this one pylon, and with an observer already on the way, the barracks need to change location and perhaps destroy this pylon here. We'll see if the Marines are going to make their way over. No, it doesn't look like they've made their way over yet. There's still one Stalker on the low ground, and we'll see if anything will come of this, as we now see sentries, Zealots, and Stalkers now make a move. This is a really good bait by MC. MC basically says, if you try to take out this pylon, I'm going to attack the front door. If you don't take out the pylon, I'm going to have an observer to be able to warp in units straight inside your base. We'll see what's going to be happening here. The Zealots are now retreating, and there's going to be a very small window of opportunity. The Marines are going to go straight after this pylon. The Zealots and the sentries and the Stalkers now need to attack the front door. Is it going to be enough? And it looks like it should be enough here, as here we go. Guardian Shield now coming in. Sentries focusing it down. There's the force fields. And now that bunker pretty much has already been finished, or that wall off will stop. Zealots now, however, taking a lot of damage. The Marines now made their way back, and Puma defended that very nicely. He is sitting behind on probes, though, 10 probes, as we are now going into a factory on the high ground. The Zealots now trying to get some, the sentries now trying to get some easy damage onto the factory as well. You can see that the bunker is in a little bit of a curious position. There is observer on the high ground, but the missile turret does not spot it, as we still see a second observer being added once more. It is now 49. Oh, there we go. One observer does get taken out. A second observer may get taken out as well. No, it does not go down. And MC now losing his window of opportunity to attack, as the mules are quickly going to catch Puma up in this race, as he already has level 1 weapons upgrade and combat shield now being researched. The sheer number of Marines causing a lot of problems, that very strong range, and also missile turrets with the use of terrain, very effective. Defenders advantage going in favor of the Marines now, as the observer is going to see all of these units make their way out, but the observer completely unspotted, as the units are now making their way out again. We can see extended thermal lance range and the Colossus trying to be trained up. Will it come out in time is the key question. A probe perhaps trying to place down a proxy pylon, as an SCV with a canister over Zealous, perhaps going to try to build a new command center off over here. And we'll see whether or not this probe spots the other worker. The Marines are going to try to charge up this ramp. There's a scanner sweep. Are we going to get down the force fields? No. It looks like the medevacs are going to go in for a drop straight up on the high ground. Here we go. The medevacs now dropping in. Zealots, there's the Guardian Shield, and the medevacs decide to retreat once more, as we see a Marauder finishing off the probe and a new command center being placed. Medevac now tried to do a drop up on the high ground here, but that was unsuccessful. No damage on any of the Marines. The Medevac taking a little bit of damage, as there were already Stalkers in position. MC, knowing the MO of Puma, already one step ahead, but we'll see whether or not Puma's economy will be able to pull him through. 3 mules, 50 SCVs versus 58 probes. Saturation, you can see the third base already being established by Puma. Level 1 armor upgrades now coming in, compared to 0 upgrades on the Zealots and the sentries. Marauders are getting in position. The Colossi are going to have to be careful of those Marauders until they get extended thermal lance range, and even when they do, they got to be careful here, as the Marines and the Marauders, where are they going? Oh, this looks like a possible flank. This is a really bad position. Puma, if you try to charge up the other ramp, could perhaps find these units separated. MC now getting charge on his own Zealots, and that is going to change things up a bit. Once more, you can see the number of gateways, 6 gateways, getting level 2 weapons upgrade, and going to start level 2 armor upgrades, chrono boosting that out, getting a third Colossi, but we are already going into Viking production. MC still with a slight food advantage, only 50 or 5 food advantage, as now it looks like a triple medevac drop looking to hit the main base in just a second. There are 5 Stalkers in position, a photon cannon now being added, Photon Cannon does deal a lot of damage, and we'll see if that's going to be enough. The Medivacs, if they try to drop here, one may end up losing to a Photon Cannon, but if they try dropping here, they may end up losing the Stalkers, and then the Photon Cannon would be able to get in on that fight as well, as it does have a range of 7, dealing 20 damage per attack. Now, things are getting interesting. Things are starting to reach critical mass for both of these players. Whoever gets off a nice engagement will be able to pull ahead and take the victory. Colossi are not attempting to take down these rocks here, as Medivacs, Marines, and Marauders still sticking together. There are no ghosts as of yet. Still, SCV hiding over here at the third base. Stalkers now being transferred down. One poor Marine getting destroyed here, as we see a planetary fortress at the third. Medivac now looking in for a drop, and it is completely wide open. This is going to deal a lot of damage here. Marines and Marauders, you can see a Zealot trying to warp in. It quickly gets taken down before it is finished, and now here we go. Pylons may get destroyed, taking down 2 gateways. So 2 gateways already down. Colossus may fall as well, as we now see an engagement on the front door. Vikings going after the Colossi. There are a lot of Vikings. Guardian Shield really helping out with the Marines and the Marauder. There's some force fields as the Colossi trying to rip through the army. Marines and Marauders now taking down key pylons, unpowering many of the buildings, as we still see more and more probes, or sorry, a lot of key tech building down over here, and MC says GG. So by MC not keeping 2 to 3 or those 5 Stalkers here, completely changed the course of the game. 1 Photon Cannon here, a little bit of static defense would have gone a long way. And that really was the key issue, not having enough observers to know when drops were coming in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 3 in the series, as Puma now pulls ahead 2-1.